Open your mind. Open your mind.
Hey out there, this is Buzz with TheSurvivalBuzz. So I just got done reading an article just a few hours ago that now there is an Illinois representative that is trying to push through state law that insurance companies no longer have to provide coverage and pay for your medical if you get the the vids. If you get that, they don't have to cover. You have to pay for basically everything, your whole hospital stay or whatever it may be, out of pocket, and they're not going to help you. Which seems radical. It seems extreme. But this is the way these laws are now being pushed. Basically by the liberal states is usually how it seems to be. But this goalpost is just getting pushed further and further down the road, like I've said before in other videos. If you think you're safe just because you go down and get this, the jab, I wouldn't say so, because they're constantly going to want you to go in and get a booster. I mean, who knows, at some point it could reach every 6 months or once a month or whatever it be, you have to go get the booster. And this is strictly money for these big companies. Don't think that you're any safer than you were before, at least in my mind, and everybody has their opinion on this. But it just seems like a ploy to make money for all these big pharmaceutical companies. The shots now are the new way of them making money. Instead of putting you on some pill forever, they just require these boosters constantly that cost money, and it may be free from your insurance or whatever, but I assure you nothing is free in this world, especially when the powers that be tell you it is. It's quite the opposite. This is coming out of tax dollars or whatever else it may be. None of this is going to be free. So all these ginormous billionaire companies are just making more money off of it. And that's all this is about. And the more of these radical laws they try to push through, and you have to have this or you have to have that, or we're not going to cover you insurance wise or whatever it may be, that's just going to keep getting more and more extreme. And if they just come right out of the gate with an extreme one, then later on it may not seem so radical, passing something smaller. So it's all about getting you used to this cycle of just shot after shot after shot so that they can be rich at the end of the day. So I just thought I'd share that little bit of information I learned in that article, and that was in Illinois, like I said. The bluer your state, the worse it's going to be for you probably as far as these things. Right now I live in Oklahoma, and right now it seems like for the most part our governor is fighting for our rights, and what goes on behind the scenes or how legit he is with that, I'm not sure, but for the most part so far I've been pleasantly pleased with everything going on in my state. So something to keep an eye out on. I don't know about you, but I can't necessarily just afford to pay medical expenses out of pocket. And I'm sure you can tell if you go back to some of my first videos, I've lost quite a bit of weight. And over the course of the last month and a half or so, I've lost 22 pounds. I probably eat more fruits and veggies in the last month or so than I have in my entire life. Lots of water, lots of greens and fruits and veggies, raw fruits and veggies, meats, that sort of thing. Try to stay away from, a ton of carbs. Trying to get fit, trying to get ready for all this, because, fitness and staying in shape is just as important as putting food back and other things. So keep that at the top of your mind right there. You've got to get fit, because when times get really hard and you're having to raise everything and grow everything for you, allow you and your family to eat, you're going to have to be fit. This is hard work doing all this, and I feel amazing eating healthier. I haven't touched a fast food place in over a month, so well on my way down the road that I want to be feeling healthier, because, well, obviously with these new laws and things that they're trying to pass, if you don't want the old jabbo, you might have to pay for all your medical expenses. So now is the time to start thinking about that stuff, high blood pressure, obesity, diabetes, different things that you can get from not being fit and not in shape, and the horrible things that you might be eating. So food for thought, think about that, and I suggest everybody get in shape as well as prep. So as always, like this video and subscribe if you like what you hear, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Later.